So what does part 2 look like here at Oregon
Part
State?
3 for me.
Part 3.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good. It's good to be back in the Northwest, and I know Coach Akey was reiterating that, just being here with a lot of people that we know and have coached against, and so it's a lot of fun.
When the Temple situation closed up for you, what were you looking for, and what was out there?
Yeah, just kind of looking at a lot of different things and what was best for our family, both personally and professionally, and getting back, closer to home was really appealing to me.
How does this job work for you? What kind of role do you see?
Just helping. I don't think there's there's kind of a laundry list of things, but it's really just helping out where I can, and whether it's with some experience with some things or the way I've done something a certain way, or a play design or whatever. So it's a lot of just helping, really.
Yeah.
When you look at a guy like Malik coming in and just getting his feet wet in this new system, what do you see in him, and what can he bring to this offense?
Yeah, he's talented. He's played a lot of football. So the fact that he's got some experience is intriguing, and he's got a really high ceiling, talent-wise. So we're just trying to get him up to speed and comfortable in the system. That takes some time. It's new terminology. A lot of times it's maybe a play that he's run before, but we call it a little bit differently, or we read it a different way. So just getting him comfortable is really the biggest thing this spring.
How would you describe your relationship with Gundy?
We've had a long relationship, going back to when he was a player. He lived with us as a GA, and we've worked together a couple different places, back in the Nebraska days and Oregon State. And so, we're pretty close. And so that part's easy. It's really comfortable with each other. We've been in the same system and then different systems. So it's kind of fun to mesh things together, and you get some ideas from Coach McCann and everybody that's contributing pick, everybody that has been in some different systems. So it's kind of fun to put it all together and, explore some different ideas. But Gundy and I go back a long ways, so that's fun.
How have you seen him grow from a player to coach and a coordinator?
He's always been a really good leader. He was a team captain for us back in the playing days, and his leadership, he's just grown, gotten better and better that way. He's smart. He's a guy that's been a good leader and a smart player, and that really carries over into his coaching. He's a good teacher. He's detailed. He's had some good experiences in the places he's been, and I think he's just really grown as a coach.
What does kind of the 2025 evolution of this offense look like? What are you guys looking to improve on from last year and bring into this season?
I think continue to run the ball is going to be important, and then cutting down turnovers. It's kind of it's pretty simple. That's kind of everybody's goal, sure. In terms of taking care of the ball. But when you can run the ball effectively, it really opens up a lot of things in the passing game. So. That's where it starts, in protection up front, and it allows the quarterbacks to open up their game too. If you can run the ball, you can you can attack defenses differently because you're multidimensional. So as long as you can protect and run, you've got a chance to complete some passes.
On the kind of the day-to-day, are you spending more time with like skill guys or running backs or
more quarterbacks? Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of been. Helping with the quarterbacks has been kind of the day-to-day. Yeah.
Speaking of the quarterbacks, I know we talked about Malik, but the other two, what have you seen out of Jabari and Callan so far in this about couple weeks here of spring ball?
Yeah, I've been impressed with Jabari. He's got a live arm, and he's really a good runner. So he's like the perfect dual threat guy. A little bit different style than Malik, and Callan's probably in that dual threat type of player also, and there's only 3 of them, so they're getting a lot of work, and usually have a little bit more in the room, but with this portal these days, you can get in situations where you get 2 or 3 guys, so they get a lot of work, get them some good valuable work through the spring, but it's a talented room, and you look top to bottom, you've got guys that can throw the ball and move, and all of them really are talented players. You just got to get to where they're comfortable making checks and knowing their reads.
When a third of the quarterback room is left-handed, do you have to make adjustments for that in terms of how you teach things? Do you flip things?
Yeah, it's
for him?
backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Callan probably has to do a little bit more of the flipping, because you're teaching to 2/3 of the room is right-handed, so you just kind of have to flip that, but not a huge deal. But it is the opposite, in terms of footwork and things, or sometimes you have to, if you're heavy right-handed, play calls, you got to kind of flip that when he goes in, just so you're working to his strength. But not a huge deal, but he probably has to adjust more than anybody.
Is it something you have to think about when you're getting into play action, like wanting to
Yeah.
prevent him from booting right?
Yeah, especially the bootleg game. You want to be able to move the quarterback both ways, but obviously with the lefty, rolling out is going to be a little easier the other way. So you do have to keep that in mind.
You mentioned this being your third stop. What is it about this place that just keeps bringing you guys back?
It just keeps bringing me back. No, I love it here. I love the people. It's a bunch of kids that like playing, and they've got good work ethic. You see them around the building all the time, which is different than some places. It's easy to do that here. You don't live very far away. I think there's not a ton going on, so I think guys come over here and watch extra film, and they like football. So I've always loved that about this place, and I noticed it again right when I got back here, is how many kids are in the building and trying to learn, and they just like being around and like football. So it's encouraging that way. I think guys are really trying to improve and get better.